Doesn't take much to realize how fortunate you are. And recording this message and just thinking about really how very, very fortunate I am. It's a bleak day. My feelings aren't bleak. My feelings are very frank. I am fortunate and I'm very blessed. I have a very supportive family, very supportive wife. My kids in my home, I adore them, they adore me. I'm stable, I have a family life, and I'm very happy. And I'm ultra successful on the local, regional and international stage. What more could I ask for? Professional success, personal success, success in the family setting. It's a rainy day, and I'm thinking because the lives of the people that I see, people that I treat, the families of those people, all of this impacts, it really impacts me. And never ceases to amaze what the human body can and cannot do. So let me tell you a story today. Saw a female patient, and I'm going to call her Minelli. Minelli has been seeing psychiatrists for the past 12 years. Minelli has a very supportive husband, and they have a 14-year-old daughter. Minelli, I diagnosed yesterday with a strange form of epilepsy. She's been seeing, I think, 6 to 7 psychiatrists. The last psychiatrist she's been seeing has her on three, not one, 3 medications for depression at mega dosages. In fact, she's above toxic levels with each antidepressant. And she tells me, "Doc, the treatment isn't working." She's also on 2 medications for anxiety, and she's still very anxious. I couldn't diagnose her in one visit. I couldn't. First visit, I sat down with them, or they sat down with me, and I listened. I listened keenly to every single thing she had to say. And I had lots of questions, and she had lots of questions, and I couldn't answer the majority of her questions. But her clinical scenario brought on for me to think about a specific form of abnormality in the brain that if a patient has it, they become very mentally unstable, very mentally ill. Not enough for her to be walking the streets. But she says it, "Doc, I'm at work and I'm just not there. I'm at home and I'm just not there. In my relationship, I'm just not there." So my husband and I have been trying to give a semblance of normality to our teenage daughter, and we've been together. But I can't take it anymore. I don't feel anything for this gentleman who's my husband, and it's constant fights, I'm the one responsible for the fights. I'm the one that's always going off my bunkers. And he most times takes it until this poor man, and of course she's saying this with him being present in the office. This poor man just taking it. Now I've seen enough, and I've been around enough, and I've felt enough to know that quite simply that husband adores that woman. He just adores her for all the reasons that I don't know. He adores her, and he's just been taking all the nonsense that's thrown at him, because deep down he knows his wife is not well, and that's not her. I don't know what she was like when they met. I don't know the situation in the earlier years of their relationship. What I do know is that right now she's not well. So I took my time. They brought a bunch of studies, and I said to them, it's impossible for me, and this time we're seated here to look at these studies and to know, pick out the information that I want to take out. So quite simply, I need you to leave these with me, and when I can, I'll take my time and I'll go through them, which I did. I documented, put it in my file, analyzed what the information meant, and in a follow-up consult, I requested a special study of the brain to see how a specific region of the brain was working. And lo and behold, my suspicion came to light. This lady has a very uncommon type of epilepsy. And when I say the word epilepsy, everybody thinks, hey, the patient is going to have some type of a condition where they stare off into space, or they have an involuntary movement of an arm or a leg, or they can't control. Nothing like that. She walks, talks, eats, sleeps like most normal people do. So how does she demonstrate her epilepsy? Her brain is not working normally. It's not at the normal capacity, and it's offset from an electrical point of view, a chemical point of view, a functional point of view, and her brain waves are upside down, and her brain systems and cognitive architecture is just totally upside down. So I get the confirmatory study. I read the report from the doctor who does the reading. It says normal. I don't take these reports for granted. And I said, well, let me take a look at it. I took my time, I sat down, and I was glad I didn't take at face value what the reading doctor wrote about this imaging study. One of two things: he doesn't know to read the study, which I would hope is not the case. Let me say hi to my neighbor. Or this doctor don't know to read the study, or he made a mistake and he put normal to a study that perhaps was somebody else's reading. I frankly don't know, but I do care. So made an exception to my rule, and I asked administration to contact the husband, and I gave him a preliminary. I said to him on the phone, I said, sir, I'm hoping to meet with you and your wife as soon as I have another slot available for consult. I have good and bad news. Which one do you want first? And he said the good news, doc. He says, guys, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say. And I said, the good news is that, remember that thing I suspected that your wife had a form of epilepsy? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I've confirmed it in the study. She does have it. And I'm going to be able to explain that to you, I said, when we meet. What's the bad news, doc? I said, well, the bad news is that this is going to be a long, long road to recovery or to control. I'm saying hi to another neighbor. There was silence on the phone. I don't know, 5 seconds. 5 seconds feels a lifetime. I couldn't see anything. I was just waiting for his response, and finally he responded and he said, it doesn't matter how long it takes, doc. Do you know what to do to get my wife under control and back to being a normal person? And I said, yes. I don't know how normal she's going to be. It's going to be a long, long process. I said, but if you guys bear with me, we're going to get her out of this. So I'm thoughtful because that could happen to me, it could happen to you. You know, when you're blessed, you're blessed. And don't complain when you have things that are good to you. Life is good to you. The universe is good to you. God is good with you. The last consult I saw, Minelli and her husband, she made it quite open. I'm divorcing him. I've already filed for separation. We no longer live in our home. I've moved back to my mom's with my daughter. My husband has moved there. My still husband, and she looked at him and said, he still lives there. I don't know why. But I knew it. I looked at him and he was silent and he was hopeful. I read his hope. I read his pain. And I made his pain mine. Because as a husband who absolutely adores his wife, who is my best friend, my true best friend, put myself for a moment. I empathize with this guy. And I put myself in his place. To be sitting next to the woman that you love, to hear her say it outright, that she don't want to have anything to do with you, that she's withdrawn and given up on the world, she's given up on herself, and she has as yet to know if she can continue because of her daughter, her 14-year-old daughter. And this man just sits there quite calmly. He's saying nothing to irritate her. He's saying nothing to show himself. He has no need to show himself in the consult. Scheduling with my secretary a phone call for me to give him a prelim. Listening on the other end to what I have to say. When I was finished explaining, he said, I trust you, doc. I believe you're going to take my wife back to a sense of normality. And he said, and this is where, wow, it's heavy. It's heavy on my chest. I realize this guy adores his wife. He loves her dearly. And he's committed. He'll take a divorce and he won't go. And he's going to be there with her every step of the way to get her back to being as normal a person as she can be. This is quite a responsibility for me, quite a challenge. Not the first patient I've seen like this, and probably won't be the last. I want to take up this challenge. I'm going to meet with them in a couple more days, And even though the treatment has already begun, because I started to withdraw slowly, could do it fast, lower dosages of certain medications, toxic levels of antidepressants that you never combine. It's like you don't combine because they cause some very serious side effects. You know, people I don't know, you graduate from medical school, high specialty, and your life preparation doesn't stop there. You as a doctor have a obligation to continue researching and studying and looking for more, looking to offer your people, because you're all my people. Doesn't matter where you're born, what passport or flag you have, you're all my people. I have a talent as an ultra specialist that I can give to people if people are willing to listen, because most people come for that magic pill, magic injection, and I don't have it. I have a systems approach that if you're disciplined and listen to me, I'll get you out of your problem. And I've taken on the challenge with Manelli and her husband, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get her back to a sense of normality and actually being normal, so that she can enjoy life, her workspace, her family, her husband. I'm hopeful that relationship can nurture itself again. Believe me, seeing true love from that gentleman, but a knot in my throat, a tightness in my chest, and the resolve that, like always, I have to give it all I have, and I gotta be on top of my game, my A game, time and time again. And unlike many other physicians who just breeze through it and, well, prescribe this and prescribe that, don't have records and have to be asking the patient, what did I prescribe for you? Now that's funny. I mean, even if it's a paper file, gee, you should have a file. If it's on the laptop, if it's in the cloud. I work with a cloud-based system. Our clinic, we make sure we pay very good money to have that protected, because that's you, that's your information, that's your privacy, that's your life, your world, your investment. So I've done some research, I have a plan, I have a system in place, and we're going to tackle this. And she doesn't have mental disease. She's not bipolar. She doesn't have a panic disorder. She doesn't have a social anxiety disorder. Quite simply, what this lady has is called temporal lobe epilepsy. This specific type, mesial temporal sclerosis. It destroys lives. What's the problem? She has it on both sides. Right temporal lobe, left temporal lobe. Brain's not talking across to each other. But I guarantee you, I'm parked in front of my home, just about to go in to see my wife and my kids. And I'm in a down tone itself, but I'm not. I'm pumped up to go in to be a family man, a normal person. But I have Manelli and her husband and her 14-year-old daughter in mind. And I'll help them to champion her cause. Believe me, I will. This is Dr. Wiz. These are words of wisdom. Until next episode, I'll see you, and please do subscribe. There's a lot I have to share with the world. Nice seeing you, good people. Bye. I gotta be a dad now. Gotta be a husband.